Well, West Michigan, today is our break day between systems, as we'll be fairly dry for much of the day. This morning, though, still a very dreary feel to your morning, and you're waking up to wet roadways. We do have a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of light rain for our very early morning hours. But this really should wrap up by sunrise, and then we'll be dry for a majority of the day. So a few sprinkles towards I-94, a little bit of a heavier rainfall towards I-96, all moving off south and east. Again, this will not last all day. By sunrise and beyond, we'll be dry, quiet, and cloudy, all before this system starts to push in our direction, arriving later on this evening. So dry and cloudy for much of the day. Once we get well past your dinner hour, past sunset, we'll start to see this wintry mix move in from south to north through the overnight. Temperature-wise this morning, we're in the lower to upper 30s. We do have a bit of a breeze out there, so that then in turn is making us feel like we're in the upper 20s and lower 30s. And these winds will last all day, actually increasing as we go into the evening, overnight, into tomorrow. So your Wednesday bus stop planner, that little bit of drizzle this morning really wrapping up quickly. Then we'll be dry and quiet for much of the day, pushing those temperatures still above average in the upper 30s. But you factor in that slight breeze and we can feel a little bit cooler before even we lose that daylight there at 5:37. These winds, though, will pick up more this evening. This is overnight tonight as we start to see wind gusts upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour, and that continues right into early tomorrow morning. They'll subside a bit throughout much of the day on Thursday, but then Thursday evening right into Friday, we'll pick back up with some strength of these winds. So overall, starting this evening through Friday, we'll have a breezy setup. So tonight, cloudy, breezy, and that wintry mix, it's going to start to push in again south to north. So as we take a look at this here on Future Track, you can see the more north you travel, the more mixing you have. The more south of I-96, the more plain old rain. Any shifting north or south with this system really will change that freezing line, where we can potentially get some of that freezing rain and wintry mix. So something definitely to be aware of as you head out the door tomorrow morning. We can get a dry slot in here for late morning, early afternoon, but then we'll quickly push back into primarily rain for Thursday afternoon. But then Thursday evening, overnight into Friday, we get cooler air wrapping around on this system, and we'll transition to snow. Now, this will be light lake effect snow throughout the entire day on Friday. If you aren't seeing the snowfall, you will have cloud cover. How much snow are we talking? I know there's a lot of you really wanting a lot of snow, and this is just not going to do it. A dusting to 1 inch to 2 inches and primarily higher snowfall totals will be well north of our viewing area, as Fremont, Big Rapids, that's kind of where that freezing mark, that freezing line will settle for much of the day. Late Thursday into Friday, you'll see the most snowfall. So here's the next couple of days for you. 43 degrees tomorrow, 34 on Friday. We'll get that cooler air to wrap around. Dry on Saturday then and cloudy. Sunday, we're watching if a system goes to our south or impacts West Michigan, so we can't have snow starting at the end of the weekend and into next week. But we will start to work towards the average and a little bit cooler than average temperatures as we now wrap up the month. I'm not sure what to eat nowadays. Man. I'll stick with cookies. Those probably aren't even good either. Who knows? Oh, geez. Well, hey, we're on a Wednesday here, and we have another dreary start to the day. Wet roadways this morning, but we'll actually be mainly dry today as this light, mostly rain, for the morning hours. It's really going to wrap up as we get closer to sunrise. Radar is trying to show a bit of wintry mix just north of Grand Rapids. At the surface level, it is likely rain. This is really light stuff, but again, will be primarily dry much of the day before our next system starts to move in late this evening, coming in from south to north. So here's what it looks like on Future Track. You can see cloudy conditions otherwise today as we do stay mainly dry. It's our break day between these systems. But later, after sunset, really after our daylight hours go away, this wintry mix will move in from south to north and stick around through tomorrow. Temperature-wise at the start of the day, we're in the lower to upper 30s. A little bit breezy winds, which is making us feel like in the upper 20s. And lower 30s. And these winds will stick around today, actually increasing in strength later on tonight over into tomorrow. So your Wednesday as a whole, temperature still above average. 38 degrees is where we will land. You'll feel a little bit cooler with those winds, but mainly dry as that wintry mix will come in after we lose that daylight there at 5:37. So here's these winds. We pick this up this evening through the overnight when we start to have wind gusts upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour. And that strength will stay into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow midday, we'll relax these winds back a bit. I don't think you'll notice the difference much, but then we'll increase the strength yet again Thursday overnight into Friday as we wrap around some cooler air and transition from that wintry mix and rain to snow by Friday. So tonight we will stick with that wintry mix moving in, temperatures dipping back into the lower 30s. So here's where we pick up future track. As this moves in south to north, that wintry mix band will really settle more north of I-96 and then mainly rain I-96 on southward. If we get any little shift more north and south, that freezing line will definitely change. As we go throughout the day, though, it is likely due to lift and hug around Big Rapids. So you folks, mostly Big Rapids on northward, we'll see primarily all of the wintry mix and snow. We can see a dry slide here by late morning, early afternoon. It's not going to last for long, as in that rain pushes back in. We'll start to get colder air wrapping around this system, transitioning into snow for Thursday evening, and we'll stick with light lake effect through the entire day on Friday. If you aren't seeing any light snow showers, cloudy conditions definitely can be expected. It's not the kind of snow we need, though. Light dusting to 1 inch or 2 inches, and primarily a lot of that snow north towards the Big Rapids area. So not going to help with your winter activities with that snow. Hopefully we'll get there, though, for the rest of our winter months. 43 degrees, though, tomorrow, 34 on Friday. We're dry for the start of the weekend. Pick up possible snow chances as we get.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for staying with us on this Wednesday, this midweek hump slump. But I'm feeling good. Feeling energetic.
This week is opposite from last week.
Yes, last week.
Yeah.
Which is when we had the sunshine. So what is going on?
Yeah.
We've had not a lick of sunshine this week.
Not a lick.
Time to put you behind in the past.
We were just talking about being Dutch, and I feel like that's just a very well, like that really got you.
Why are ears?
Anyways, yeah, no, this week is going faster, but to her point, it has been very gloomy, so I'm confused.
The weather has been, but last week was,
But are we on the up and up, or? Okay.
We're not.
no, I'm going to continue to be the bearer of bad news.
All right, well, let's hear it.
Let's get to the bad news. Hey, but if you like the rain, you'll have a little bit of it this morning, but we are cloudy and dry for much of the day. That rain this morning going to be very short-lived. It is going to give you wet roadways, though, for the start of the morning hours. Wintry mix does arrive tonight in and throughout Thursday, tomorrow, and then we'll switch over to some snowfall on Friday, but it's not the kind of snowfall that we need, that we want to really enjoy all those good winter activities. We're talking a dusting to 1 inch and mostly north, so not really going to help us all that much. Very light rain showers this morning, more of a drizzle consistency, but again, this will be wrapping up throughout the morning hours. We'll be mainly dry much of the day, waiting on this system to approach overnight tonight in and throughout tomorrow, as it'll give us that wintry mix and I think even primarily rain for many of us tomorrow before we make that switch to snow. Temperature-wise this morning, we're in the lower to upper 30s. A little bit breezy out there, which is making us feel like we're in the upper 20s and lower 30s, as those winds will be with us throughout the day, but really picking up strength later on this evening as we start to get into that next system. So kind of our break day here, losing that daylight there at 5:37, but temperatures still above average. You'll come to learn in my full 7-day. We're going to flip a switch, at least